What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 9 of Undrafted, the podcast. I am your co-host, Coach Danny In Your Face.
And I'm Coach Mel Tarasi.
And welcome to another episode 9.
Yes, sir.
Today is a special one. I'm not even sure. Well, we were aware, but then as we kept reviewing, I'm not sure how aware. Anyway, that being said, we have a special guest for us today. Cannot wait for her to join us. That being said, I'm Coach Mel. How are you feeling, by the way? Before I ask my next question, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Thanks for asking. Just made it to Thursday, one more day of the week, and then we get to join in Sabbath and rest. And just really looking forward to the weekend. A lot of stuff happened this week, but blessed to be alive and, blessed to do what God needs us to do. And I'm grateful. How about you?
I'm doing better now. Can you see what's on my head?
Ooh, I just noticed that.
I'm just saying. This is new merch. The merch has arrived. We got beanies, we got caps. You got caps over there, or what's happening over there?
We got them caps here, boy, with the different colors.
Hey, all right.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
First and foremost, though, we also want to give Aime Monje our full thanks for making the product for us. We have UTP Undrafted, the podcast, as well as the beanies of Coach Daniels and mine coming up a little closer. You can see.
It's the same. Yeah.
So if you're interested in any of our merch, please contact us below onto Undrafted, the podcast, for a chance to not only win some free merch, but help us out and support our new mission. So we appreciate you guys a lot.
We got a few things bought actually today. As soon as we got the box from Aime, she went ahead I went ahead and took it to the office, and Mrs. G, she actually purchased the first pair of beanies and
nice.
Caps. So shout out to Mrs. G.
Thank you, Miss G.
Yeah, so the merch is available. Merch is available.
Thank you for that, Coach Danny, and thank you again to Aime Designs for helping us out with the caps and the beanies, and we look forward to partnering with you more in the future. Sure. All right, it's time to give our full attention quickly to our Smiles Missionary Foundation, who is our sponsors. We want to say thank you to Pastor Squarzon again for allowing us to demonstrate and also share your ministry with the world on what you're doing. And what they're actually doing is our foundation is focusing on offering youth and adults the possibility of a better education, access to essential medical care for the normal development of a childhood, basic and essential nutrients for their growth, ease of attending school and developing moral and social values, and most importantly, the spiritual part of the child and family and helping them become a good human being. So at this same time, we want to give all of our participants the privilege of discovering and fulfilling a purpose in their life. So if you see yourself giving to this organization, please look down below at the Follow Smiley's Missionary Foundation and help us draw smiles on family faces all around the world.
Nice. Shout out to Smiles Missionary Foundation.
Thank you, Smiles. And now we've come to the best part of the show. We have in our presence right now Coach Ednisha Curry. Before we bring her in with us, though, we are definitely going to give her a wonderful background bio so you guys get to know her as well. It says here, Coach Curry is currently coaching NCAA Division I men's basketball at the University of Maine. Curry was drafted by the WNBA Charlotte Sting in 2002. Curry played professionally basketball for 8 years, netting seasons with the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury and Los Angeles Sparks. She's also been to the Middle East and in Europe. She's also haven for women's basketballs overseas. It says during that time, she's also worked as a coach with Team Concept AAU basketball organization up in Portland and helping develop female and male athletes at the same time. Just recently, also in the summer of 2019, Curry was selected as a coach for the San Antonio Spurs Summer League staff. Curry also serves as a technology instructor for the NBA's Assistant Coaches Program, which helps educate and transition former WNBA players like herself and NBA players in becoming coaches after their own careers. It also mentions here that over her decade-long coaching career, Curry has consistently developed leadership, training, and mentoring to student athletes as well as former professional players as well. This experience comes from Curry's work with FIBA, NCAA, and NBA programs. Coach Curry's expertise on collaborating business and basketball has also given opportunities to interface with key markets and leadership staff with different types of organizations. Curry is a dedicated advocate for physical, mental, and social development of sport organizations, people, and athletes around the world. And with further ado, Coach Curry joins us now. How are you doing, sis?
Hey, what's up, everyone?
How are you doing?
Doing
Good. How about yourself?
Doing well, doing well. Let me go and give you the full spotlight, Coach. There we go. Coach Curry, welcome to our show. This is called Undrafted. It's such an honor to have you with us. We're so eager to not only learn about your life experience, but just really get to know you as a person and really hear your testimony of how God's brought you this far and as well as what you've accomplished. And so we're so happy for you to be here with us today.
Thank you. Excited to be here and share my journey with all of you guys.
Awesome. Thank you. So Coach Eddie, we would like to start off with our first question that we always ask our guests on the show. And it is, what does the word undrafted mean and signify to you?
You know what? It means a different journey. That's it. Everyone's journey and success is different. It's just the way you started your path is different. That's what undrafted means to me.
Okay. I've never heard that. Different path. So can I ask you, were you in this undrafted path yourself?
I think eventually in life, everyone is.
Okay.
Most people call it a pivot, a transition. But, everyone now just sees the success of the end of my journey, some people may say, or the spotlight of my journey. I don't think it's the end. But they don't see the beginning of the 10 years or so that it took me to get here. Yeah. So, that's really what being undrafted is. It's about the pivots and the transition and the perseverance and resilience you have to have for your dreams and your goals in life.
Okay. Now we were in fact, drafted third round, should I say, at 41st?
Yes.
Okay. What was, because I know every kid's dream, they want to go, number one, or it'd be a lottery pick, whatever it might be. What was your mindset during this process?
You know what? It was interesting going through the process because I got hurt my senior year, so I had to sit out a little bit of my senior year with a serious injury.
Okay.
So I wasn't sure how my professional career was going to go. And what people don't understand, unless you're in the first round, getting drafted doesn't mean you're going to make it. Yeah. It's just your name being called. It's like being in a starting lineup. You may start the game, but it doesn't mean you're going to finish.
Yeah.
So the draft process for me was just that. I was excited. My name got called. But I knew it was going to be a process for me to stick and for me to make it. So, it was a part of the process and a part of the journey. I think I wasn't too high. I wasn't too low. I enjoyed it for what it was in the moment. And, I realized a childhood dream, that I was a professional athlete.
Yeah.
Man, that's so tight. With that in mind, too, because we knew you were drafted with the Charlotte Sting back in 2002. I was going to ask you as well, what was it like to play for all those three organizations you were, to be a part of? Like, how was that experience for you? What did you learn? And, what did you take from playing in the league that you're using now, possibly coaching,
It's definitely about being able to pivot, transition, and adapt. Because
that's in comparison to like college, should I say?
Yeah, I mean, college, is totally different than professional. It is definitely a business mindset. Everyone is going in there. It's their livelihood. You're playing against, grown women who might have been playing overseas before and have their career. So you're trying to establish yourself. But each organization, each coaching staff that you transition to, you have to adapt.
Yeah.
You have to adapt to the defensive style, the offensive style. and also their expectations in the role that they have for you on that team. So it's a lot of figuring out how to use your gifts and skills to stick. I mean, that's really, and honestly, that's kind of what life is a lot about. That's what success is about, figuring out how to use your skills and just be able to stick and be successful. So that's what that transition was for me. And that has helped me as a coach because it has allowed me to tell my players that they have to adjust. They have to adapt. You can't go into Monday and say, I'm going to be this way. And then Tuesday, you're going to be the same way. No, it doesn't work like that. You're always growing. You're always learning. You always got to be better. You got to adjust on the fly. And the people that can adjust and adapt keep growing. The ones that usually can't, usually don't make it in the professional world and usually struggle just in a normal, professional world because they can't adapt well to changes, A coach getting fired is the same as your boss getting fired, a CEO or president selling a company, organization, your head coach, your assistant coach, your head coach gets a new job. You have to adapt. He may take you or they don't. You're always moving. And the individuals that are able to add value during this transition are the ones that are truly successful in life.
Okay. With that transition mindset you have developed, Coach, we are also high school coaches ourselves. And so we wanted to see what advice would you be able to give a high school student about this transition, tough, pivoting? Like, what did you do when you were in high school to get ready for, your next chapter in college?
I was consistent.
Okay, consistent.
Can you say that one more time? Just one more time. You were what now?
I was consistent.
Amen.
I mean, whatever. I was a 5-sport athlete in high school, so whatever my coaches gave me, whatever plan they gave me to be successful, I was consistent with it. I can use my basketball consistency. Over 4 years, I never went to lunch in high school.
What?
We had a shooting machine. Okay. And every day during lunchtime, it was like my free period, 45 minutes, and I would go in the gym and shoot. And then during 6th period, our basketball period, our study hall, I would, I was like, I could shoot at 12:30, and then I can eat at 2. You have the snack periods. You have, you're eating during the day. It's not like you're missing a meal.
Kids are always eating, and
I was consistent with that. And when you're consistent with that 4 years, you're getting reps and you're developing a strength. But more importantly, you're developing a mindset to always be learning and always be growing.
Always be soaking in. Okay.
And then one of the greatest things that I loved about my head coach, we didn't always get along, which was awesome. It was a great working experience.
Okay.
How so?
It was a requirement that we had to deliver goals before our games. Okay. Every game in high school, I had to deliver a goal to our coach.
As individual players?
Yes, everybody. Okay. So 4 years, he would read during a JV game, he would read our goals. And it was like, I remember starting the first process, it was like, I want to score this, I want to score that. Everything was like very like I, because that's what goals are.
Yeah.
And then he started like slowly challenging, okay, so how are you going to get to these goals? What are your team goals? What'd you do during the week, to get to these goals? And you really thought about it all week, and your goals started being saying like, when I would say I want to score 20 points, I would say, well, I shot every day at lunch. I shot at practice. I feel confident.
Okay. Evidence.
Our opponent, this is a game dominated because of this.
Yeah.
And that kept me locked in. I was always going for something. I was always reaching for something. But more importantly, during that time with the consistency, I was always reaching for success. I wanted to win.
Yeah.
That was more important to me than anything. My individual accolades, enjoyed them, but the fact that I can win and be a champion year in, year out, that was the best feeling ever.
Man.
Yeah. Now, many people would have this dream of, making it WNBA, NBA. And I'm not sure if you've ever, most people have, but some people might be better than them, but may not even succeed. Did you ever have people that might have been better than you and might have caused you to maybe doubt yourself and say, man, I don't know if I could really do this? Because like I said, like people will put in work, and a lot of people don't see the positive outcome.
You know what? First of all, I never even had a dream when I was growing up where I was from to be in the WNBA or even college at that point. I just love sport. It was no pressure. And I think it was maybe my junior year in high school, sophomore year, about the end of my sophomore year, I started being like, okay, these letters are for a reason. Then I started to research them a little bit. And, my goal was just to go to college to get a scholarship, to just be the first in college to graduate. That was my whole goal, to be working hard to, get an education, because I always knew that, being educated would last longer than sport.
Yeah.
The whole thing about doubt, I think that's just an inner fear. I think everyone may experience it, but it's what you feed. You either going to feed two things. You're going to feed growth, or you're going to feed fear and doubt. I never really doubted who I was going to become and who I could become, because I was a winner, and I was a winner for a very, very young age. I won in everything, every sport, in the classroom.
Nice.
I was competing against people that didn't even know I was competing.
Yeah.
Like literally, like in class, I was like that athlete and that person at the time, like, when they would write the grades, I walk by and look really quick. I was one calculating, okay, first in the class, second, okay, where am I at to him or her? All right, that's gonna change,
My next victim.
Like everything, the idea of learning and growing was an obsession for me almost. Like I was literally like trying to knock people off like a chess game, and they didn't even know it. Like I was like, okay, that pawn is in my way, move. next, checkmate. Like and it was crazy because it was something that I never talked about. No one knew I was as competitive as I was, because I'm very introverted in my own personal life. So people were like surprised when I'm, talking on things like this, or, even in sport being competitive. Because I would just be looking at people, like studying them. Like I would go to the games and just watch and hear people talk about them. And then I'm just like sitting over there like,
all right,
you're next. And then it was just, I learned that to be successful at a very young age, you have to surround yourself with people better than you.
Can you repeat that? Can you repeat that again, please? Thank you.
At a young age, a very young age, I figured out that I got to surround myself with people better than me. So one of my closest friends in track was the fastest runner in our valley.
Okay.
She was my best friend. I'm like, okay, if I run with her every day and I work out with her every day, boom, I got that checked off.
Dang.
And then like one of the best ball handlers in basketball players was one of my best friends and close best friends in high school, Marcus Carr. He was on our basketball team, lived down the street. Every single day we played against each other. I was like, okay, dribble, pass, move. So I was like, okay. When he went to the park, he was taking me. Like, it was like, I didn't care. It didn't matter gender. Whoever was in my mind, thought was better than me, I was going to be around them no matter what. So I think a lot of kids, young kids, and just people in general, coaches, and I'll use this for high school coaches, you define your success by what level you are. And you just define your expertise by what level you are, and that's not always true. sometimes the logo which you wear or your current state and job, you put yourself mentally in a box. I never allowed myself to be in a box because I was like, okay, I'm always going to grow. So it was no box to put me in because I was always reaching for this person or that person, trying to talk and communicate with other people just to get better. And when you go back to doubt and fear, because I had that mindset to grow and get better, I wasn't afraid to reach out. I wasn't afraid to be around those people. Okay. I never wanted to just be a person to say I'm the best. In the end, it ended up that way, but it's not something that I enjoy. And I think a lot of young people enjoy that. They enjoy the satisfaction of right now too much, this moment of success, this moment of, last week's game, I got 100 likes because that's not success. That's not
popularity.
That's not legacy,
Yeah.
That's not really growth. That's owning a moment, which you should. If you're good at something, every moment that you get in life, you should own and be great at.
Okay. Insightful wisdom words, hearing it now from Coach Eddie. We appreciate that honesty from you because that's stuff that we're learning ourselves to instill into our high school athletes and junior high athletes early. So that way they can understand that success is not grabbed, like you said, right now. It takes growth. Yes, ma'am. All right. I'm listening. I'm soaking. So I want to ask you the next question as well. We understand that you do coach at University of Maine, and we wanted to ask you. My question was, what was it like when they asked you to be the assistant men's basketball coach at the University of Maine? We would like to hear, what you felt, what was going through your head, what was it?
I didn't feel anything.
Oh, for real? Okay. What was the thought in your mind? Like, let's get to work?
It was just a job.
Just a job.
Like, and when I tell people that, they're like, man, you didn't know. I literally was like, my old boss who I had worked with, Coach Richard Barron, I worked with him on the women's side.
Okay.
And, he took a hiatus and I took a hiatus and I started working with the NBA and teaching in Atlanta.
Nice.
And he got the job. I literally texted him, congratulated him, said, I'm proud. I'm glad you're back into coaching. I know it's been a long journey back, and that was it. I was not thinking about asking for a job or thinking about a job or anything. The next day, he shoots me a text. Hey, you got time to talk? Sure. What's up? I'm going to call you. Calls me. I step out of my classroom. He's like, you want to come back and coach? I was like, sure. I would love to coach, and I love working with you. So sure. All right. I'll call you back in a little bit. That was it. And I'll go back to, my former coach, he just hit me up and asked me if I wanted to join his staff and coach with him. And I said, yes. That was it. At that time, I didn't think it was a big deal that I was a woman coaching men's basketball because I did it all my life. I've coached boys, girls, I coached men, abroad. So it was nothing to me. It wasn't until maybe 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks after that, when we were going through all the HR process, and when he was like, okay, you can't say anything because we got to wait for the public and the school. And I was like, okay, let me Google it. And then that's when I just started researching. I was like, oh, it's a big deal to everybody else, but it still really wasn't a big deal to me. I didn't, I knew the guys on the team. I had already had experiences with them. They had respect for me already being on the women's side. So it was just another job for me.
Okay.
I like the approach you take on these things. It's just like, it's another mission for me. It's another checkmate to you. Okay.
It is. It literally is.
Okay, cool.
Which do you prefer, by the way? Coaching men's or coaching women's?
You know what? It doesn't matter to me.
I know each have their perks.
No, they don't.
You don't think so? Okay.
No, they don't. That's such a gender question. Like
Not in that way. Not in that way.
No, but it is like they don't have their perks. They like
Okay.
We're gonna stop these questions, and this is one of my purposes to stop those questions.
Okay.
Because there is something wrong with it, and too many times when women get in these positions, we say there's nothing wrong with them, but there is. If you don't ask men gender questions and the perks of coaching men's and women's basketball, don't ask me. And it's a habit, and no one means anything bad about it, but it's just what has been the narrative for so long in everything we do.
Yeah.
There are, and I always use this example. There are men's players that can dunk and can't dunk. There are women's players that can dunk and can't dunk. There are women's players that can shoot and can't shoot, and men's players. And there are low IQ players on the men's side and women's side. There are bad women coaches who coach women. There are bad men's coaches who coach women, and vice versa on both sides.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's really about the people, And it's interesting when I'm coaching, that's literally what I see. They just happen to be men, but the same, I got moody young man, the energetic young man, the young man that I gotta hype up.
Yeah, I was just wondering in comparison, like what do you, and in your experience, what do you have to deal with, or what you've gone through in your experience in both fields? That's more so what I was trying to get at.
Literally the same.
Literally the same.
It's the same,
Okay.
The game is the game. It's the same.
And people are going to change, That's why I try to change that question and get us to think about it more as like a people.
Okay.
When you're coaching, you're just dealing with people.
Yes.
And it's going to be good and bad people on both sides. It's going to be some players that give me headaches, and some players I'm like, oh, it's a coach's dream. But for me, the coaching, my calling right now is to coach men's basketball. At this current stage in my career, I have no desire to be a full-time women's coach. Do I enjoy the women's side? Of course. It's a reason why I'm on this platform now. But I enjoy it more in mentoring young coaches and young ladies who want to follow in my footsteps as far as being a collegiate and professional athlete.
Okay. And would we miss, so then that being said, do we miss the playing more, or we're perfectly comfortable within the coaching?
I have no desire to play.
No desire to play anymore. The body can't take it.
You're retired.
I'm retired. I have, once I stop signing contracts, you cannot like the whole Sunday, noon lunch where all the coaches, some of the coaches at school, I'm like, I have no desire to do that anymore. I do not want to be one of those coaches on a little torn Achilles little cart. No, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I'm cool with doing a couple defensive slides and being in the drill with the guys, demonstrating something, but that's it.
Yeah.
I'll shoot with you. Now we can do a shooting contest, but up and down.
Yeah,
I understand that.
This body don't want no part of it.
That's funny.
Oh man, that's awesome, Coach. But I'm glad that you're still like active with your boys, and you can still show them a few things or so.
Yeah, and I have a 15-year-old brother that I have to train. And
nice.
So when I go home in California, we get out in the front yard and we play the old school games, pig and horse, and I beat him up that way and stuff like that. And he gets mad at me now that I know it's not going to be long, but when I get close and do all the old school moves, he's like, I hate that. Like, he's like, I hate when you do that. I'm like, look, this is old woman game. When you get my age, you're not trying to do anything that's going to end in, you're going to be at the emergency room.
Okay. Wow. Okay, that's crazy. And how has that been training going with your brother? Like, have you also like you say, it's people, right? So you're connecting with your brother, and do you see like development through him from what you've learned as well?
Yeah, and the funny thing is, he always says my best coach is my sister.
Oh, okay.
He
He better.
You know what? And he's had some good coaches, but he's like, I just like the way you coach.
Yeah.
He's like your style, like you don't yell, you're not too crazy, like you're just like really about the process. And he really enjoys that I allow him to go through the process. And I always explain that when you're learning something new in life, a part of being consistent is embracing the ugly. You're going to go through the ugly. It's like learning a left-hand layup, a hook, move. You have to embrace the ugly stage to get to the beautiful swan stage. And he enjoys that I allow him to go through that process without being rushed, whether that process takes him a month, 2 months, 2 weeks, whatever it is. I allow him to own his process. And if he wants it faster, then it's really on him. Yeah. But it doesn't come from the pressure of me at all.
Okay. I was going to ask, because you yourself, I mean, you've obviously gotten to the professional level. I was going to ask is there any timetable for anything that you would be teaching that you kind of have to uphold and kind of let them know, like, hey, if you want to get here, you got to do this a little bit quicker, or you got to be faster, or is there any type of the
only thing that I really expect is the work ethic.
Okay.
Because you can't, too many times we do put timetables on success, and there's really no timetable.
True. There is none.
Like, you can be successful tomorrow and it's Friday, and you can be unsuccessful Saturday. That's just how it is. You can have an epiphany on the court, and the move is working. You got the combo, you click, and then the next day it's just like, yo, what happened? Yeah. So getting them to understand the process, like for you to truly be successful and for you to truly get it, you have to have consistent reps of success. And I think that's something people forget on the journey. They think that one day of success is enough. No, you got to have 300 days of consistent success with that one rep of whatever it is, whether it's in school, in sport, in life. You have to be consistent. So that's the one thing that I have him really focus on. And who knows? Some players get it. It's some things that I've taught him, and he's got it in 2 weeks, a week. Some things that just naturally I'm like, okay, you got this. And then some weeks I'm like, okay, this is going to be something that we're going to have to do at the beginning of the workout and the end of workout. You're going to need 2 of these every single day with me until you get it. But it's like riding a bike. If you do it enough, eventually you'll get it.
Yes, very true. All right, that's cool. Let's dig in a little deeper too on your experience in the past. We wanted to ask you, can you describe how different it is playing overseas than it is in the league? Because you've done both.
Wow. Overseas, Jesus Christ. Overseas, we get packed a lot. Like it was, my first experience overseas was rough.
Where were you, if I could ask?
I was in Athens, Greece, my first year. Okay. It was rough because I could not stop traveling.
Oh. Was it different?
It was different. See, we can catch the ball in midair and take 1-2. That's a travel in FIBA basketball. FIBA, you have to put when the ball's coming, you have to put the ball down. You have to take a dribble.
And then go?
110. Oh my, I travel so much.
Right by the rim.
I'll be on a break and I'll be like, oh, I got this. 1-2, they'd be like,
oh man.
So
that's different.
Those rule adjustments, but it was fun. Integrating and learning new things from their game, like learning how to do a Euro step and the different Euro steps from my teammates. And playing in WNBA was awesome. You're playing against your legends, the players you looked up to growing. And then the most important thing, you're playing in front of your family at the highest point in your career. When your family is coming to your games, you're at home playing. Most of your teammates are people that you respect and people you played in college with or against. And just the level is different. Like you're literally playing with 10 people that were all conference from ACC, SEC.
True.
When I played Pac-10, Big 12, high mid-major schools. Like there's nobody sorry in pros. I know everyone likes to say that, like the guy at the end of the NBA bench or WNBA bench is sorry. No, it's just everybody's that good.
Yeah.
And these are the same individuals that, you'll have WNBA players that don't get a chance because the people ahead of them are really that much better than them. Yeah. And they go overseas and you're like, dang, she don't play, but she put up like 25 a game.
She's hooping. Yeah.
It's only, 2 or 3 Americans, on a team, sometimes 1 in certain countries, so it's different. When you're at that time when I was playing on a team, I had Lisa Leslie, Shamiqua Holsclaw as my teammates. Dude, you're not getting on the court. Just
Lisa Leslie dunking over here and everything.
You're not like, you're just like, okay, you're not like and I don't think people realize like the top 5, the starting 5 or the starting 6 on a WNBA or NBA team are that much better than the bottom half of the roster.
Oh,
and
of course,
it's just seriously like levels, and you just got to adjust and get used to. But I enjoy both leagues a lot. But the biggest joy was being in the WNBA and just finally getting to play in front of friends and family.
Yeah.
Okay, and who was the person growing up that you got to play against in the league that you admired?
Cheryl Swoops.
Cool. Is that when she was still in Houston, or is Houston Comets still alive? Okay.
Yeah, that was
that's awesome.
That was my player. She was my player.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I wore number 22, and like I was like, oh my gosh, she's like the best player in the world. So yeah, she was my on the women's side.
Nice.
Okay, who's the one on your men's side?
It's 2. Magic Johnson and Kobe Bryant. I'm late.
Okay.
So,
That's cool. I respect that for sure. The bean.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. These last 2 questions that we're going to ask you are from our coach, from Coach Kevin, who couldn't be with us today. So we definitely want to acknowledge his questions to you. The first question he has me to ask for you is, what's your ultimate goal within the coaching realms?
To be a men's Division I head coach.
Okay. And then would you ever go pro if they asked you, like Becky Hammond and status like that? Would you take it to the next level?
That's a part of the process.
Okay.
Eventually I can see myself going there. I've like I said, I've had opportunities on the coaching staff in the summer with the Spurs. I did draft camps and things like that with other NBA teams. So whatever the journey is to get there. But for me, I would love to be a Division I men's head basketball coach.
Awesome. That's really cool. Okay. And then with that being said, he asked the last question: of all your accomplishments, what are you most proud of?
The other people that I've grown, the other people that I get to see on men's basketball staffs, within athletic departments, on WNBA staffs, on NBA staffs, on other women's college basketball staff. It's the other people that I've grown and given opportunities to by using that platform and my voice. Okay.
So you're always second from what it sounds like.
I'm always second. I'm always first. But my journey's not about me. It's just using, my abilities to bring other people along.
Amen. I like that. That's your ministry, your spiritual gifts and the gifts and talents you have. You're just making sure everyone gets a piece of the pie. No one stays hungry. All right. That's what's up. Okay. Coach Danny, this is your part now for the ending of the show.
Alrighty, Coach Curry. We're going to move on to the next part of our show. It is titled This or That. This is the part where you get to select the better of the two items. Which would you prefer? Okay. We will have a theoretical 30 seconds on the clock, to which we got to answer as quickly as possible. All righty.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do this. First question, question number 1. Which would we prefer to live, East or West Coast?
West.
West Coast all day, maybe. Okay.
Okay.
NCAA to watch, women's obviously, or WNBA to watch? Which would be
WNBA.
WNBA, okay. Which goes first in the bowl, cereal or milk?
Cereal.
Okay, good. No stuttering over here. Line. Coaching or playing?
Coaching.
Coaching. All right. Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
All right. And last but not least, for our this or that, cardio or weights?
Weights.
Weights. Okay. All righty.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
In the weight room. Now, the next part, I'm going to ask you. We can take our time, should I say? I'm going to ask you to build your top 5 favorite players from any era that would basically be on your Mount Rushmore.
5.
5.
We're doing 5 men, 5 women, or just 5?
We could do that. We can do 5 men, 5 women. You can put yourself in there as well. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna just do 5 in general. So I'm gonna go Cheryl Miller, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, and then
Miller, Bryant, Johnson.
Yeah, I'll throw Lisa Leslie in there.
All right.
And then I'll go with Swoops.
And
Okay. Okay.
we should traditionally start letting people mix the teams just to see what they would be like.
Yeah.
As a top 5. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Those would be my 5.
Okay. You wouldn't put yourself in there?
No.
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 But can I ask you who then are your 5 top coaches? Women or male?
5 top coaches would be for me, the late John Thompson would be 1. Vivian Stringer would be 2. Pat Summitt will be 3. 4 for me would be Lenny Wilkins.
Okay.
And 5 would be Phil Jackson.
Oh,
Phil Jackson. Okay.
Nice. Man, Coach, this has been so much fun. I mean, I was telling my kids all day today, like how happy I was going to be sitting down with you, and they've all subscribed. Yeah, they all subscribed as soon as they heard that you were coming. Even my female, players were just like, "That's so tight, Coach, that y'all know somebody who wants to make a difference on both sides of the gender, not just one."
Exactly.
Yeah. So they just immediately was like, someone loves this game. I'm about to learn, what it is to not feel different because of my gender.
Exactly.
Yes. So I appreciate you so much for coming on. It's been an honor and a blessing to have you again for coming. And we hope to have you again in the future on future seasons to come through, just to like catch up with you, see how it's going, support you the way we are already doing. And we just want to say thank you again for being here with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you guys. Have a good day.
You too. Have a good one. Have a good evening. All right. Bye-bye. Oh, man, that was so tight, bro.
That's what's up.
Man, it's just so cool to hear somebody who, wants to put a stop to something that people see as normal. Yeah. And she's just trying to say, you know what? The game is the game. You love the game. You can do it too. Yeah. So how do you feel about it, Coach Danny?
Man, she seems like I like people who know what they want in life. That's what she seems like. This is what I want. You're not going to give me anything less. And she demands it. So that being said, I like her for that.
Yes.
Yeah, kudos. But no, I'm excited. for her in her journey. Just
Same.
wherever we're going, I'm hoping too as well she can be, head coach of men's basketball team.
Same.
But that being said, yeah, we're just rooting for her.
Yeah, rooting for Coach Eddie. Again, if you want to show some Coach Eddie love, go ahead and follow her over on her Instagram, Coach Anisha Curry. You will find her there. If you are looking for any type of advice or any of the sort, don't be scared to hit her up because fear is not in her book.
Never.
All right, never in her book. So thank you again, everyone, for tuning in to episode 9. It was a blast. Can't wait for episode 10 next week. Thank you again for all of your support. Again, if you see the beanies and the merch on Coach Danny's head, if you want some of these, hit us up and we got y'all covered.
Yep.
All
By the
right.
way, how much? Do we announce prices now, or do we just later? Hit us up.
Sure. You're welcome to go ahead and announce that now, Coach Danny.
Okay, yeah. For these beanies, we got some black beanies, we got some orange beanies. For the beanies, they are $25 each, and for the dad hats and caps, those are going for $30. So that being said, just DM us and let us know if you are interested.
Yes, sir. Thank you for giving that information out, Danny. And again, this has been a great episode. Tune in with us next week. If you're enjoying what we're doing, smash that like button for us and subscribe to continue to join the UTP family. The more, the merrier, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great evening, everyone. This is Coach Maltarasi signing off.
I'm Coach Danny in your face.
And we'll catch y'all next week. Have a good one, everyone.
Take care.